Your horse has a second heart, not a metaphor, not a figure of speech, a literal functioning second pumping system built into its hoof that keeps blood moving through a body so large that one heart alone cannot do the job. And that is just the beginning. In the next 5 minutes, I am going to show you 5 things about horses that most people who own them have never been told. Things that will change how you look at this animal every single time you walk into the stable. Fact 1. Horses cannot vomit. Fact number 1. Your horse cannot vomit. Not will not. Cannot. Physically impossible. Here is why this matters more than you think. A horse's stomach has a one-way valve, a muscle called the cardiac sphincter, so powerful that once food enters, nothing can come back out. No matter what your horse eats, no matter how toxic, no matter how much. The only escape for what is inside a horse's stomach, if pressure builds too high, is rupture. And a ruptured stomach in a horse is almost always fatal within hours. This is why colic kills more horses than almost any other condition. This is why what you feed your horse is not a preference. It is a matter of life and death every single day. Your horse cannot tell you when something is wrong inside its stomach. It cannot purge the problem. It can only wait and hope you notice in time. Colic, leading cause of horse death, directly linked to inability to vomit. One-way cardiac sphincter makes stomach rupture the only alternative to passage. Fact 2. The second heart in the hoof. Fact number 2. The second heart. A horse's body weighs up to 600 kilograms. Getting blood from the heart down to the hooves and back up again, against gravity, through legs with almost no muscle in the lower section, should be impossible. And yet horses do it with every single step. Here is how. Inside the bottom of each hoof is a structure called the frog, a V-shaped pad that acts as both a shock absorber and a blood pump. Every time the hoof strikes the ground, the frog compresses and forces blood back up the leg toward the heart. Release, refill, strike again, pump again. Your horse has 4 of these, 1 in each foot, working every step of every mile it has ever walked. This is also why horses that stand still for too long, in stalls without enough movement, develop circulation problems. The secondary pumps stop working. The blood pools. The legs fill and swell. Movement is not exercise for a horse. Movement is circulation. Standing still is not rest. It is slowly shutting down. The frog, V-shaped hoof structure, functions as venous blood pump, returning circulation from leg to heart with each step. 4 per horse. Running continuously. Fact 3. They must lie down to dream. Fact number 3. Your horse can sleep standing up, but it cannot dream standing up. Horses have a locking mechanism in their legs, called the stay apparatus, that allows them to doze lightly while standing without falling over. This is a prey animal adaptation. A sleeping horse on the ground is a vulnerable horse, so they evolved to rest upright. But REM sleep, the deep sleep where dreaming happens, where memory consolidates, where the brain truly restores itself, that requires lying down. The brain cannot enter its deepest cycles while the body is vertical. A horse that never lies down is a horse that never fully sleeps. A horse that never fully sleeps is a horse under chronic cognitive stress, regardless of how calm its environment appears. If you have never seen your horse lying flat on its side, legs extended, breathing deep, that is not a sign that your horse is healthy and rested. That might be a sign that your horse does not feel safe enough to be that vulnerable. And that is worth paying attention to. REM sleep in horses requires lateral recumbency, full lying position. Horses that never lie down are REM deprived regardless of standing rest time. Fact 4. Their memory rivals elephants. Fact number 4. Horses have one of the longest and most precise memories in the animal kingdom, ranking just behind elephants. Not just memory for places and routines, memory for people. Memory for how specific people made them feel. Research has confirmed that horses can recognize and remember individual human faces and the emotional associations attached to them years after a single interaction. A horse that was handled roughly by a specific person as a young foal can display elevated stress responses to that person's approach a decade later. Not because it was trained to, because it remembers. The opposite is also true. A horse that was handled with patience and calm by a specific person will show measurably lower stress indicators around that person, even after long separations. Your horse has been keeping score. Every interaction, every session, every moment you came to the stable in a rush and let that energy bleed into the time you spent with them. It has all been recorded, and it shapes how your horse experiences you, right now, today, every single time you arrive. Horses remember individual human faces and emotional associations for years, memory ranking just behind elephants among non-human animals. Fact 5. They can read your heartbeat. Fact number 5, and this one is the most extraordinary of all. Your horse can detect changes in your heart rate from a distance, before you touch them, before you speak. Research published in 2024 confirmed that horses respond to elevated human heart rate with measurable increases in their own stress indicators, even when the human shows no obvious external signs of anxiety. The horse is not reading your face. It is not reading your body language. It is reading the subtle chemical and electromagnetic changes that accompany a faster heartbeat. Your horse knows when you are stressed before you have consciously registered it yourself. And because of the heart rate synchronization we covered in previous research, when your heart rate rises, your horse's heart rate follows. You are not just riding an animal, you are physiologically connected to one. Your nervous system and theirs are in constant, real-time communication, which means every time you arrive at the stable carrying the weight of a difficult day, your horse carries it too, not because it chose to, because its biology gives it no choice. 2024 research. Horses detect elevated human heart rate and show corresponding stress indicators before physical contact or obvious behavioral signals from handler. A second heart in its hoof, a stomach that cannot purge what harms it, a brain that only truly rests when it feels safe enough to be vulnerable, a memory that records every person who has ever touched it, and a nervous system so attuned to yours that it feels your stress before you do. This is not a simple animal. This is one of the most sophisticated emotional and physiological systems that has ever walked alongside human beings, and most of us are only just beginning to understand what that means. Subscribe to Wild Mind Pets. Leave a comment. Which of these 5 facts surprised you the most? I will read every single one. See you in the next one.